everyone, this is a weirder video. Normally on this channel, we just stick to doing after show podcasts for things like Rings of Power or Attack on Titan or Invincible. But today we are taking it a little bit of a different road. We're going to be doing another reaction video. So this reaction is going to be for Housing Complex C, which for anyone that does not know is a new horror anime that is being simulcast on Toonami, as well as being up on HBO Max the next day. So for me, this is a really interesting thing for us to do on this channel because we do both media reviews and media analysis, but we also do tabletop role-playing games, usually in the flavor of Call of Cthulhu, which is a very horror and Lovecraftian. And this show is super Lovecraftian. We've already seen from the trailers that it has elder signs, deep ones, and what appear to be elder things, and is going to be going into what is definitely a Lovecraftian area. You can't have the three things that I just mentioned without it being Lovecraftian. Point is that we're going to be taking a look at this today. We're going to be seeing if it's any good, and we're going to be seeing exactly how Lovecraftian it can be. We're going to go into some potential spoilers, just going over some Lovecraftian lore here real quick. So that's what today's reaction is going to be. Hope you enjoy, and let's get this started. Okay. Yep, Cthulhu's immediately brought up in our subtitles. Ooh, this is deep ones. This is going to get ugly really, really fast, if I understand where this is going. Looking down into the water. Ooh, the rainbow. Egyptian. Okay, so we are going Nyarlathotep Black Pharaoh route. Unless this is not Egypt and they are just taking inspiration. Oh! Now, the interesting storyline here is the fact that they are comparing and contrasting our main characters to what appear to be some sort of reincarnations, what appear to be an Egyptian set of girls. Now, we see in the beginning some crazy magic afoot. She turns all the pursuers into stone, shrivels them away. This is reminiscent of some other spells that exist within both Call of Cthulhu, the game, as well as some weird hijinks stuff that we see in things like the case of Charles Dexter Ward. But the important thing here is that Egypt and pharaohs only really pop up when you're talking about one god in particular, and that is Nyarlathotep. So Nyarlathotep, for anyone that does not know, is probably one of the only gods that has a distinct personality within the Cthulhu Mythos. And the best way that I could sum him up if you had to define the gods, defining gods within the Cthulhu Mythos is usually not a great idea because they don't really have domains, they're just big powerful things. But this is the closest to your trickster god. This is your Loki. And Nyarlathotep's whole MO is that he just wants to cause madness because it's fun. It's just something that he/it genuinely enjoys, and we're gonna see what direction this goes in. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, that's a deep one. That's a deep one hybrid for fucking sure. I don't really know what's going on other than my vast Lovecraft knowledge. The main characters looked a lot like the people in the past, so they could be descendants of whoever this is. Common trope within Lovecraftian media is bloodlines. Okay. Ah! Yeah, that's what scares me on this. The choice to show you in the shadows is very curious. What are y'all... Okay. There's the storeroom. Is that what people were running to in the cold open? They don't know they're in a horror show. Normally I'd say this be some white people shit, but they're Japanese. And they don't know that they're in danger, so I guess it's okay.
It's called an optical illusion.
Optical illusion.
Okay, so illusions will be a part of what we could expect throughout the story then. Okay, so we're going to be looking at a theme of our eyes being deceived throughout this. That is really good to know, actually. They're laying it on a little thick, but this hopefully comes back around in a useful way throughout the story. That's not an optical illusion, not an illusion, my dude. First thing that I want to talk about, fish dude that we see climbing on the wall. This is what is called a deep one. Now, deep ones are pretty much exactly what you see. They're fish dudes. They're fish-human sort of hybrids. They are followers of Cthulhu, his sort of like monster people. They're heavily featured in the story A Shadow over Innsmouth, but they also exist within other Lovecraftian stories and plenty of the different Call of Cthulhu games, as well as pretty much anything Cthulhu based, because they're pretty fun. That being said, there is a really interesting piece here that we see them. Most deep ones are at least half human. So what this essentially is that places like Innsmouth would worship the Deep Ones and then breed with them and then become Deep Ones themselves. This is a phenomena that you can see within the story Shadow over Innsmouth, but it is heavily featured in the lore, and usually the horror that comes with them is a form of xenophobia, but also sexual horror. Now, this doesn't necessarily apply SA. You do have situations and stories where people willfully gave themselves to these people, fish people, in order to gain riches and also to further their own beliefs, themselves being followers of Cthulhu or Dagon.
I wonder what this thing is.
Okay, they went into the hyper detail. Oh, that's unsettling. There's our elder sign. Don't move the elder sign rock. So this is called an elder sign. Now, elder signs are a form of protection that exist in order to ward off greater monsters and evil. They're in the lore, again, because Lovecraft is never really hard lore. There's different rules per different stories, but they all follow the general same shape. The Elder Sign is designed to keep away big bad things. Sometimes it's less effective on smaller bad things, but in general it is a warding against spirits or malevolent forces from the mythos.
Huh? I seem worried? That's just an optical illusion, Mommy.
That's not how optical illusions work.
Interns.
I have a problem with this from a directing standpoint. This music's way too goofy for them trying to include any sort of horror. Though these guys have unsettling stares. Okay, so I see we're leaning into the xenophobia that exists within all of Lovecraft. Cool.
Pleasure to meet you.
Okay. Our other young girl character from the opening.
He's going through some things, and he's become a bit of a shut-in.
Diving into the Cthulhu Mythos. So it exists as a form of fiction here, as well as being real.
Optical illusion!
No! No. Saved by the big man. Funny, because he'll be doing the opposite of that later. So if he is a Deep One hybrid, they're doing it very subtly.
Thanks for your help, Con.
So perhaps not that. However, we are seeing a lot of the hints that that's where the storyline is going.
Our optical illusion.
Homegirl, it's not all optical illusions. Stop standing on the
Sorry if I scared
fucking
you. Is your name Kim?
roof.
Wait, I know. Want to see something cool?
No, we're not doing it. At least the new girl has enough. Whoa! Okay.
I got you back real good.
What did you find in the motherfucking basement? Whoa, that's.
You're from down
Well,
there. Let's go left.
that was a whole ass person. That was a whole ass person. What do you guys?
Just this.
Is that from where the Elder Sign was moved?
Is this another?
Oh boy. Okay. Okay. We'll take some time to figure out what those are. Hey, quick thing from post, I forgot to make a note of this in the original recording, but those are likely Elderthings. They are an ancient race that inhabited the Earth long before humanity and a couple other races jumped into everything. They're usually shown to kind of show the futility of human existence because there have been many races before that are infinitely more intelligent than humanity and have fallen way harder and we have no living memory of anymore. That's the usual basic theme on here, but based off of who has sketched them, it is likely just a remnant of the discovery of the Cthulhu Mythos itself.
Right. So,
This is such a
Dad gives the interns advice
child's gesture of not understanding other larger ramifications of what could be going on. Yeah, it's a big old fucking nope from me. Cool. Bet. They're Muslim, you racist!
Looks like Wada's
Okay.
extra grumpy.
Okay, we're at least treating the xenophobia as a problem. We'll see if it's backed up. We know the big dude is at least a problem. They could easily be baiting and switching us, though.
Too hot.
Now, as to if our neighbor friends are deep ones or not, they seem to be going in a couple different directions. Thematically, Lovecraft's original works are all very racist and very xenophobic, which is the reason why deep ones as a monsters even exist. Because if you start breaking down the larger world ramifications of deep ones, you could go, they're just people. And they're not actually that scary when you think of them like that, but he will portray them in a barbaric fashion. And Nyarlathotep also exists as a sort of xenophobic mentality of an outsider that comes to your world and destroys everything that you care about. So, we do see a touch of this with our old lady character, but it seems to be treated as a bad thing. We will see, though, what direction this show goes in. Now, Lovecraftian themes are interesting because, again, a lot of it came from a place of racism from the original creator. However, these stories and these characters are easily shapeable to tell any other kind of story and even be a commentary on the original works itself. You broke her Magic Girl doll. Those are so valuable and rare. Shame on you. Uh-oh.
An optical illusion?
What? I'd figure out what that was, but let's now take a look at the, I guess, official intro. Oh, okay. So, potential spoiler on death. Yeah, none of them are making it out. Oh, okay, so maybe he's actually pretty sweet. Okay, flashing back. Yeah, so lineages are going to be important here. Now, she is wearing the black cat thing as well, which will be significant at best. And a Shoggoth for the background. Okay. We do see them laying on a black sort of thing with a bunch of red eyes. That is imagery that is very evocative of a Shoggoth, which is essentially like one of the big, weird monsters that you probably knew about, but you just didn't know a name of it. It's the giant gooey thing with a bunch of eyes, tentacles, and random teeth. They can change their shapes, do whatever they need to do. There's different variations of them. Some of them can even become human-looking or assume a human form, but in general, they're these big amalgamous piles of death. So, again, we will see where this is going. Right now, I have somewhat mid-hopes this was a very okay pilot, but we'll see how this goes. Anyway, thanks for watching. This has been a Call of Cthulhu Keepers reaction to Apartment Complex C. We're going to be doing more sort of Cthulhu-esque content here on the channel as well to kind of embrace the Halloween times. We have more of that content coming right up and will be in the end card. Like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you so much.